The hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. The hour cometh and now is when the true worshipper shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Neither in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem. Unity of Chicago South. Online, New Thought Spiritual Community, streaming live from Chicago. Offering worship, in spirit and truth, beyond walls.
In this constantly changing world, life and personal values can seem more than a little unstable. Just when you think you have it all figured out, then everything changes. Sometimes life can seem overwhelming. Well, the good news is you can change your life. You have within you the power to learn how to flow with the changes and smooth out the bumps of life. You can experience the joy, peace, health, and abundance you deserve. You were created to be happy and productive. That urge to grow and express yourself was put there for a reason. Learn the spiritual principles that can help you not just to survive, but thrive in this changing world. At Unity, we'd like to help you do just that.
Imagine a spiritual path that honors the universal truths in all religions, that sees we are all one. Imagine a movement that respects each person's right to choose their spiritual path. Imagine a spiritual movement that empowers and unites rather than divides. This is Unity. For more than a century, Unity has offered a positive, practical, and progressive approach to understanding and applying the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters.
Welcome to the Unity of Chicago South Beyond Walls Spiritual Community, Sunday Celebration, live stream. We are simultaneously live streaming on various platforms. Previous celebrations are available on YouTube at Unity OCS. Thank you for bringing your consciousness to this space.
Welcome to today's reading. We look forward to researching and bringing you readings from various past and current Unity materials and other spiritual sources. We hope that you will find upliftment as well as practical application that will enhance your life experience in a positive way. Thank you for your presence.
From the Unity Booklet. Messages we need to hear from the writings of Martha Smock. The reading for today is titled, What Are You Saying to Yourself? What kind of conversation do you carry on with yourself? What are you saying to yourself right now? If you find your inner conversation with yourself running along negative lines, you have the power to change the subject, to think along different lines. This is where affirmations of truth are wonderfully helpful. An affirmation of truth can be like a conversation piece around which your thoughts center. An affirmation says simply and clearly that which is true and gives your thoughts a pattern, as it were, to follow. You can change your life by changing the way you think and feel. You are doing this day by day, thought by thought, as you watch the kind of conversation you have with yourself, as you answer any tendency to be negative or fearful or depressed with positive healing, powerful reminders of truth. If you are ever tempted to say to yourself about some situation that it looks impossible of solution, turn your thinking around and say to yourself, I have faith that with God's help there is a way for this situation to be solved for the blessing and benefit of all. Do not carry on conversations with yourself that downgrade your worth and ability. Do not think of yourself as lacking in ability, or as inferior to others. Affirm, I am the all-wise, all-loving, all-conquering child of God. I reign supreme in all the affairs of mind and body. You may think you are unable to forgive the past, but Christ in you is able. Christ in you set you free. You can find peace in the present through affirming. Through the forgiving love of the Christ, I am set free from mistakes of the past. I accept forgiveness. I forgive myself and others. I set my face in a new direction. Keep your mind stayed on God. Keep your mind stayed on truth, thought by thought. Let your inner conversations be as with the Christ, the God self of you.
To keep up with Unity of Chicago South activities, like reading material for the monthly virtual book club live chat, upcoming classes, and Sunday celebration speakers, join our text alert program. Text the word CONNECT to 564-234-2890. Text CONNECT to 564-234-2890 to start receiving text alerts from Unity of Chicago South. Text STOP to stop.
Visual and audio consciousness lifting materials are available for free download. Our goal is to provide materials that may support your continuing spiritual unfoldment. Feel free to visit the Meta Media page at unityocs.org, which is accessible 24/7.
Welcome. Welcome to Unity of Chicago South. I am Bonnie Thompson Ford, and I come today to explore the spiritual principle of zeal and enthusiasm. So we invite everyone to spend a few moments and let's rest our body. Let's rest our body and open our mind to allow the spiritual flow to enter. Take some deep breaths and know that this breath is intended to help us integrate and open up to higher consciousness. So let us begin by asking, what do I desire to do with my life? What do I think about on a regular basis? What do I feel so deep within that would really excite me to achieve? We all have these emotions every now and then. So these emotions are connected to your soul's purpose, and they're moving through your mind to express the joy belonging to your individual creation and production of inner urge to search the meaning of zeal. Zeal is a zealous energy. We are all open to partake of zealous energy, to engage with intent, to create. This as an energetic tool, and it is aligned with intent and desire to achieve our specific goals. This energy is powered with connectivity and wisdom and confidence to fulfill desired results. When we look at functionality and the formation of this zealous energy, this energy is created with intuition and thought about a specific projections that keeps us excited and knowing that somewhere within we can do this. We're able to create this. However, sometimes we begin to get a little fretful or irritated, and we begin to lack our concentration and ability to create. This is because we respond to triggers sometimes. The mind gets triggered by circumstances, or when we feel this lack, we feel like we just don't have the inner strength. However, it is always infused by desire. This trigger enters the internal parts that awaits affirmation and connectivity of fire with desire. When the power of zeal is in conjunction with compassion and commitment, that's when the fire is started. We start to remember how to work together. We start to remember how to work within ourselves and understand who we really are. This is a time for us to remember self-awareness, who you really are, how connected you are to the higher source, because you are a part of the higher source. You have the ability within you to do whatever the mind can conceive. We tend to connect this idea with functionality. Sometimes we don't know where and how it comes from. We don't know how we begin to get excited. We don't know where the thoughts and all of the pieces come together. But when you stop and let the flow enter the body, enter the mind, enter the consciousness, we begin to pick up that energy and we start to move with a feeling that we know we're not doing this alone. This is an energy that is being emerged with our hearts, our minds, and our spirit, and our desire to see it fulfilled. So therefore, start with yourself and begin to know that you are so very special. You are empowered. The only thing missing is our intention and our ability to seek it. We are power because our Creator is power. And we're all emerged together. Even in this human form, we are allowed to invent, to create, and move this world forward. The world loves creation. We wait for the zealous person to come along and bring us some new energies and introduce things to us that we have not thought of or we have not done before. It creates a new world. It brings us new vitality, new thought to create and be much more than what we are today. We can do this. So, open your minds. Continue to realize and absorb that beautiful, beautiful spiritual energy and wisdom that we all have. It's all connected. It's all acceptable. It's just a matter of reaching out and accessing it, pulling it in, and beginning your work. Make your plans. Get excited. See the visual results. Know that it can happen. One person is so powerful. We know that from our history, that one person can create so much for the world. If that is our intent, and that is our intent, to create and build our world, we have a job to do. We have been appointed and assigned to fulfill our purposes. For when we fulfill our purposes, we also lend these beautiful energies to the light of the world and to the earth within, deeply within. We shed our light with our inventions, with all the things that we do, with the books that we create, with the presentations that we give, with all the things that we create for the usage of humans on the earth. We are blessed. We are blessed with power. So, with that, I say to you and to all of us, we have what we need to be and create what we desire, for we are loved so much that we are allowed to present our creative joy unto the world. Zealous energy. Utilize this zealous energy, because when it unfolds and emerges within you, it is awesome. And you are not moving this alone. So let's remember the importance of zeal and enthusiasm. And go forth. Go forth and create. So, until we meet again, I am Bonnie Thompson Ford, and I send my blessings and my wishes to everyone to access the zealous energy available to us all. We shall meet again, and so it is. Bonnie Thompson Ford.
This is where we pause and ask for your support, as it is important to our growth. Please use the information found to my right, or go to unityocs.org/support to provide your financial support. As a major part of the growth of this online spiritual community, we ask that you take this moment to share, follow, repost, and of course financially support our work. Your action helps in our mission to provide universal teachings beyond a traditional walled space. You are instrumental in helping this community as well as those that can benefit from the teachings. We thank you in advance for your support of Unity of Chicago South, the #1 online New Thought spiritual community, streaming live from Chicago. $, Unity Chicago South, for those using Cash App. Find us at Unity of Chicago South online at givealifi.com and 1448 East 52nd Street, number 132, Chicago, Illinois 60615, to support by check.
To keep up with Unity of Chicago South activities, like reading material for the monthly virtual book club live chat, upcoming classes, and Sunday celebration speakers, join our text alert program. Text the word CONNECT to 564-234-2890. Text CONNECT to 564-234-2890 to start receiving text alerts from Unity of Chicago South. Text STOP to stop.
Would you like our community to pray with you? Each first Sunday of the month, after our guided meditation celebration, an open prayer time is held. To be included, text prayer time to 564-234-2890. That's all one word, prayer time, to 564-234-2890. Always remain receptive to the presence of divine blessings.
Everywhere I look, I see God in everything. Deep inside and all around me, God in everything. I can feel it in my beating heart, God in everything. It's in every breath of life I take, God in everything. Everywhere I look, I see God in everything. Deep inside and all around me, God in everything. It's in every stranger's face I see God in everything. Brothers, sisters, family are we, God in everything. Everywhere I look, I see God in everything. Deep inside and all around me, God in everything. Mountain, valley, lake, and stream, God in everything. All creation, beautiful and free, God in everything. God in
Visual and audio consciousness lifting materials are available for free download. Our goal is to provide materials that may support your continuing spiritual unfoldment. Feel free to visit the Meta Media page at unityocs.org, which is accessible 24/7.
Greetings and welcome to the wonders that only exist in this moment. Thank you for joining us at Unity of Chicago South today. Let us center ourselves. Just for today, we will keep our minds filled with possibilities, not obstacles. We will keep our conversations filled with the good we deserve and watch this goodness engulf us. Just for today, nothing will be impossible. I'm Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilson Coleman, and it is a pleasure to be here today. Today, we're celebrating the spiritual principle, Zeal. My message is intended, as always, to be a message of hope, one that will inspire you to rethink what is possible for your life, to inspire you to believe in your inner star, to carry you places you've never dreamed possible. TruthUnity.net defines zeal as intensity or enthusiasm, the inward fire of the soul that urges man onward, regardless of the intellectual mind of caution and conservatism. Charles Fillmore states, zeal is the mighty force that incites the winds, the tides, and the storms. It urges the planet on its course and spurs the ant to greater exertion. It is this urge that's behind all things. Zeal is the affirmative impulse of existence. Its command is go forward. Zeal also cautions that one may become so zealous for the spread of truth as to bring on nervous prostration. So take time to be holy. Turn a portion of your zeal to do God's will, to the establishment of his kingdom within you. Do not put all of your enthusiasm into teaching, preaching, helping, and healing. Help your own soul also. Do not let your zeal run away with judgment. When zeal and judgment work together, great things can and will be accomplished. So the balance required is to use our power of zeal while ensuring our spiritual focus is leading our actions. Zeal is the power, the passion required to follow our dreams. It is said that living life without passion is like trying to go hot air ballooning with a deflated balloon. A recent study reveals that a year into the COVID-19 pandemic, roughly half of non-retired adults, or approximately 64 million people, say the economic consequences of the pandemic will make it harder for them to achieve their goals. 80% of all adults admit they don't have their dream job. Most of us have lost our drive. We've lost our zeal. And this doesn't happen overnight. If we are attentive, we would have seen the warnings in our inner early warning system. It's that feeling that something isn't missing, but you can't put your hand on it. It's that feeling that you don't know where to start or what to do. That is the equivalent of the engine warning light in your automobile. And when this happens, it is time to reevaluate how you are showing up in your life. It is time to ask some serious questions. It is time to listen to that still small voice. Start by asking, what's important to me? What brings me joy? What am I good at? Am I settling for less in my relationships, my job, my life? Am I delaying the pursuit of my dreams because I can't see a way to get there? And am I just afraid to move forward? Moving these mountains, the ones that are keeping you stuck, requires that you begin and start by rethinking the impossible. So instead of looking externally for other people, places, and things to make you feel better, start with feeding your soul. What one thing can you do today or in this moment to feed your soul. In 1962, Dick and Judy Hoyt gave birth to a son they named Rick. Because Rick's brain was deprived of oxygen during his birth, he was diagnosed as a paraplegic with cerebral palsy. In 1972, the Hoyts discovered that Rick loved sports. And in 1977, Rick wanted to participate in a 5-mile run to support a lacrosse player that had been injured in an accident. Dick, his father, had never run 5 miles in his life, and he was also having some cardiac problems, but he agreed to push his son's wheelchair in the run. During this run, Rick felt freedom for the first time in his life. After telling this to his father, Dick decided that he would compete in every competition. Their statistics include both father and son were in excellent physical condition, having completed 1,000 competitions, including 6 Ironman competitions, 257 triathlons, and they biked 3,735 miles in 45 days. When asked how he did it, he replied, "It was only a mountain." Dick Hoyt intertwined his zeal with his higher spiritual calling. And as a result, he inspired thousands of runners and disabled athletes. Dick Hoyt allowed his soul to soar. Dick Hoyt used his power of zeal to help others and to help his own soul. And when he died at 80 years old, he died with a net worth of $13 million. Morrissey says, igniting your zeal is about listening to what makes your heart sing. You also have to figure out how to remain creative. The creative process is defined as the evolution of an idea into its final form through a progression of thoughts and actions. That's thoughts and actions. The creative process involves critical thinking and problem-solving skills. These stages were first articulated by Graham Wallace, a social psychologist and co-founder of the London School of Economics. He outlined the primary stages of the creative process in his 1962 book on creativity called The Art of Thought. The first stage of the creative process is the preparation stage. As you begin the creative journey, the first stage involves prep work and idea generation. This is when you gather materials and conduct research that spark an interesting idea. Brainstorm and let your mind wander, or write in a journal to foster divergent thinking. This will help you consider all possible approaches to building out your idea. In the first part of the process, your brain is using its memory bank to draw on knowledge and past experiences to generate original ideas. Second stage is the incubation stage. When you have finished actively thinking about your idea, the second stage is where you let it go. Part of creative thinking is taking a step away from your idea before you sit down to flesh it out. You might work on another project or take a break from the creative process altogether. Regardless, you are not consciously trying to work on your idea. Walking away from your idea might seem counterproductive, but it is an important stage of the process. During this time, your song, your story, your problem is incubating in the back of your mind. So walk away. Stage 3, illumination stage, sometimes called the insight stage. Illumination is when the aha moment happens. Light bulb clicks on as spontaneous new connections are formed, and all of that material you gathered comes together to present the solution to your problem. In this third stage, the answer to your creative quest strikes you. It can take you by surprise, but after the incubation stage, an idea has emerged. Fourth stage is the evaluation stage. During this stage, you consider the validity of your idea and you weigh it against alternatives. This is the time of reflection when you look back at your initial concept or problem to see if your solutions align with your initial vision. Business professionals might do market research to test the viability of the idea. But during this phase, you might go back to the drawing board, or you might forge on confident in what you've come up with. The final stage is the verification stage. This final stage of the creative process is when the hard work begins. Repeat, the hard work begins. Your creative product might be a physical object, an advertising campaign, a song, a novel, an architectural design, a new business. Any item or object that you set out to create, propelled by that initial idea that popped in your head. Now you finalize your design. You bring your idea to life and you share it with the world. Don't rush anything. Persevere with patience and tenacity. Another thing we must remember is meditation and prayer. Bronwyn Eisen recommends that we find time to meditate or pray over our dreams and goals. You can build a greater awareness and attain deeper enthusiasm and stillness. Feeling peace and living in the moment is a great way to check in with self. We often feel that we have to go and be on this mountain of enthusiasm and to maintain it. But when we immerse ourselves in solitude, we sit and breathe, allow ourselves to enjoy the moment. Magic is occurring then also. Charles Fillmore was 94 years old when he wrote, "I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me." When you are enthusiastic about your goals, projects, and future endeavors, this enthusiasm will flourish and others will catch the zeal bug. Norman Vincent Peale reminds us there is a real magic in enthusiasm. It spells the difference between mediocrity and accomplishment. Now, go forth and do the things that ought to be done by you. Let's be still. Just for today, I will trust that power greater than myself to guide and direct my steps. I will seek out the things that make my soul smile and take time to appreciate the beauty that surrounds me. I will believe just for today that the universal power is working to shape my world in ways that I cannot begin to imagine. Just for today, I will not be separated by God. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Trust your greatness. Namaste.
Your support is important to our growth. Please use the information found to my right, or go to the UnityOCS.org support tab to provide your financial support. As a major part of the growth of this online spiritual community, we ask that you take this moment to share, follow, repost, and of course, financially support our work. Your action can help our mission to provide universal teachings beyond a traditional walled space. Be instrumental in helping this spiritual community as well as those who can benefit from the teachings. We thank you in advance for your support of Unity of Chicago South, the #1 online New Thought spiritual community, streaming live from Chicago.